Hi, I'm talking about my summer experience, 300-hour experience for Duke Innovation Entrepreneurship Certificate. Um, I've been putting off this video for a very long time, and I realized that it's because Cameo was one of the most enriching experiences that I honestly think I have ever had. And I know I have ever had in a workplace environment and in a career wise, and possibly one of the most enriching I will ever have in an amount of what I learned about startups and entrepreneurship. Not only that, but what it's like really working with people, not just working in a team setting at school or working, with, friends to, work on a project. This was really, really, really amazing. So first I'm going to explain what Cameo is, what is BookCameo, and then I'm going to explain exactly what my role there was, and then I'll delve into a few of the questions that I'm meant to be answering right now and how they were applied throughout my summer. So to begin, Cameo is an online video platform that allows normal people like you and I to book personalized shout out videos from our favorite athletes and influencers. So I could have one of the Dallas Cowboys send a happy birthday shout out to a friend's dad or to my dad. And that's essentially what the founders' goal was in mind, was to make the impossible possible. And we expanded from just sports into influencers because we found that was a very, very saturated market full of people such as Instagram stars, YouTube comedians, Instagram comedians who had these massive followings, but were not making a ton of money, unlike, some Dallas Cowboys uh, revenues for the year incomes. So, what I came onto the Cameo team doing was social media marketing. I was supposed to be taking care of the social media, working with a small team to put out some great content, and that's what I did for the very beginning. However, I realized, and my bosses really realized about a quarter of the way through the summer, that that was not my strong suit necessarily. I was good at it, just as good as any of the other interns, but where I shone was in sales, was getting on the phone or getting on the computer via email and talking to the agents and the managers and sometimes the famous people themselves, the celebrities themselves, and saying, hey, Cameo can help you. And I'm going to tell you how Cameo can help you. And once we realized I was good at this, I joined the sales team full time. I was, coming at one of the artifacts I have attached above this video is something I came up with, and it's an email template. How to reach out, how to make first touches with agents, how to make first touches with influencers, how to do follow-up emails. What does a successful follow-up email look like? And I did this throughout the summer, and it was absolutely phenomenal, some of the success I had, and also some of the success I didn't have. One of the biggest failures of the whole summer was I had a call with a Disney Star's agent, and it was going to be my first call completely on my own. Nobody else in the room with me. I was just going to get on the phone and sell Cameo to this guy, and I absolutely failed. Like, forgot my words, forgot how to talk or what to say. It was absolutely embarrassing. And here I am talking to a guy who's making deals with Coca-Cola, who's making deals with Gatorade and Nike, and I can't even formulate the words to like introduce myself. And that taught me, well, first of all, don't get on the phone unless you're completely confident. But it was just one step. And you know what? The next call, I nailed. It wasn't with that guy, but the next call I nailed. And I did every single one after that. Because once you learn, you just have to keep going. which was something I really took away from this summer. Um, Innovative ideas that helped me generate to address complex problems I identified. One of the most complex problems I identified this summer, and the entire intern team did, was the initial, I don't want to say lack of leadership, because our leaders were phenomenal. They're great, and they continue to be. However, this was their first venture, and this was our first time being interns, and there was a huge disconnect between communication within the office. And I saw that happening, and I knew I had to do something about it. So I talked to each of the interns, kind of got their feedback, got their opinions on what was going on, and I sat down with my bosses after work one day, the COO and the CEO and the CTO, after work one day, and said, "Hey, this is stuff that's going on in the office, and this is what needs to change, and here are my suggestions to change." And that day forward, it was unreal. It was like a light switch had been turned on. The communication in the office was way better. The mood was so much lighter and happier. There was music playing all the time. I saw everybody notice just a change in the leadership, and they really grew from that. And I was really happy that I was able to play a role in something so important. Technical skills I learned this summer were, at first, like I said, I was brought on to do social media and marketing, and I did. In the beginning, was using a lot of Photoshop and Illustrator in order to create some of the graphics for our Instagram and Facebook and other social media channels. But by the end of the summer, like I said, I was doing sales, and and sales in itself is extremely technical, extremely real. You have to know what you're doing in order to sell your product. And social selling, I learned, was my strong suit. My strong suit. I would, if I knew I was getting on a call with somebody, I would learn everything I could about them in the 20 minutes before the call. I'd go on their Twitters, I'd go on their social media, I'd go on their Instagram, I would go see what their LinkedIn says. Have they written any articles lately? What are some things they've liked? What is interesting to them? I mean, really, sales is stalking. We always had a joke in the office that sales is stalking, because it is. And I would bring up these things in conversation or in email with the individuals I was selling to, and they notably appreciated it. And that's how I got calls, and that's how I had success doing that. How did I contribute to a positive environment in which me and my team could pursue innovative and entrepreneurial ideas? This summer, I think I grew as a leader, and this is also one of my biggest takeaways, so I'm kind of able to combine two questions into one. But I was able this summer to really learn what it is to be a leader, to be somebody who people can come to with problems, or people don't come to with problems. That I'm somebody who can see a problem and then will do something about it. I'm not going to just sit here and talk about it or sit here and complain to my coworkers. And I never knew that about myself because I had never worked in a team before. And throughout the summer, I was able to apply these leadership techniques. Someone's confused, doesn't know what they're supposed to be doing. You just have to tell them sometimes. Like, I stopped being insecure. What if my idea is bad? What if this won't work? Or what if people will judge me? Or what if people are going to think I'm being a B blank? That disappeared this summer for me. And Cameo played an integral role in that for me. If somebody wasn't doing something and I noticed, and people were starting to get annoyed that everyone else was working, I'd be like, hey, do you mind, I have this graphic, I'm 3 graphics behind, do you mind making this for me? It's not confrontational, it's not rude, it's simply helping. It's simply helping, and that's what teamwork and entrepreneurship is about. And I learned that this summer. And I thank Cameo so, so much for that. But sorry this was a long video, but I really, really hope I was able to portray and exemplify what Cameo meant for me as an experience in my life. And I'm really looking forward to see what the company does in the future. So, thank you for listening.